Do you feel that something is off with him? The energy feels cold and you don't feel that nice buzz from texting him. Maybe all you seem to do is text each other and he won't actually agree or arrange to meet you for a date. These could all lead to the simple fact that he's not interested. Texting can be super hard to decipher sometimes, and that's why it's always best to actually pick up the phone and arrange physical dates. However, in these uncertain times, texting seems to be sometimes your only option. So, let's dive into the signs that he's not actually interested in you, so you know when to apply the brakes and let him go. Like and subscribe. He takes ages to reply. Let's be level-headed here. Life sometimes gets in the way, and just because we have our phones in our back pockets all the time does not give someone the right to expect us to message them back within minutes. If it takes him a whole day to reply to your text messages and this is repeat behavior, it means he's not interested. A guy that is interested will do anything to keep you engaged in a conversation. Now, let's say it does take him a while to get back in touch with you, but he apologizes for the distance. This is a good sign. It means he is self-aware that he may be coming across as distant, and he wants to let you know so that you know this is not his normal behavior. He doesn't share his life with you. He doesn't want to talk about how his day was or something fun that's going on in his life. Usually, when we are sad or excited, we want to tell the people that we trust and have an emotional relationship with. And if you end up finding out that he had a job interview weeks ago that he never told you about, or he went through a very stressful time and didn't mention it, it's a sign he doesn't see you as someone important. Sorry, I'm busy. If you always get this text reply, realize that this is an excuse. Some of us take our phones into the bathroom, right? So if he doesn't actually have time to engage in a proper conversation with you, it just means he doesn't actually respect you or finds you interesting enough to share his life with. He does not stop the conversations. If you find that it's always you texting saying, "Hey, good morning, how are you doing?" take it as a fact that he's not interested. If he gives you the cold behavior and makes you feel that if you didn't text him, he would never reply, well, you need to walk away. He sends short texts. Maybe he is busy and that's why you are getting these one-word answers, and if so, that's okay. But what is not okay is if he always sends incredibly short texts. This is just a sign of minimum effort. Think back to the last conversation you had with someone that you had the hots for. You could extend that conversation into novel length, right? Well, if it feels as though this guy cuts you off on the short end, you need to accept the fact that, well, he doesn't want to talk to you and he's being super polite by just giving you the ha lol texts. He doesn't ask you questions. When a guy is super interested in a girl, he wants to know all he can about her. He wants to know if she had a good day in the office, how her sister's birthday party went. He takes an active interest in finding out more by asking questions. So if you don't receive any questions via text, it's a sign he's just not that bothered. He never wants to physically meet up. I had a friend that was texting a guy for about 2 months. They were constantly texting each other, but he never committed to arranging a date. She was endlessly trying to casually bring up a topic of, wow, that sounds amazing, we should do that together. Or, I'm really hungry, I don't know where to go out for dinner this evening. He never got the hint, well, she thought. Until I took her phone from her and texted him pretending I was her and said, so when are you going to take me out on a date? Guess what happened? Radio silence. And sadly, that was the end of that. A guy that is interested in you will want to see you in person. A text exchange between two people is kind of boring. So if you find he's not trying to physically see you, well then forget about him. There is no flirty, joking behavior. Guys cannot help but crack jokes, even in those serious moments, specifically when you're trying to remain argumentative and in a mood with them, they will try to diffuse the situation by cracking a joke. So if you notice, even in this very small text exchange, that he's not flirting or using any joking behavior, well, it means he's just not that interested in you. The texting style has changed. If now he's texting you different to how he used to text, it means you are picking up on him being distant. Something feels off, and if you've noticed that he doesn't use emojis or send kisses anymore, it's not that he's forgotten how to use his phone keyboard. He is literally maintaining a cold, distant relationship with you because, well, he's not interested. He can't reply back, but he is on social media. Now, let's get this straight. It's unattractive when women stalk guys and call them out for being online but not texting her back. This is needy behaviour. Just because you are in the dating stage with another person does not give you the high importance to be replied at first before they head over to Instagram. And it's really not that much of a big deal, unless obviously it continuously happens. So if you do find that he is busy uploading selfies on the gram, updating his statuses and having conversations on his Facebook page, yet he's avoiding your messages, then this is a red flag. He doesn't ask how you are. It could be that he is only interested in you for one thing only. Yeah, your availability in the bedroom. If he is showing no signs of emotional connection by asking how you are in general, it's a sign he's not emotionally interested. If instead he only talks about himself, what he got up to in the day, to brag about something he achieved or to emotionally offload onto you, well, I'm sure you got the message. He cancels with an invalid reason. If you had something planned with him and then he cancels via text, this is a bad sign. Unless an emergency happens and he could only text you instead of calling, that's fine. And if the text doesn't follow up with a "let's rearrange this for another day instead," take it as gospel. He does not find you interesting. He has told you all that you need to know. He has cancelled, he doesn't care about the plans, and he does not want to rearrange. There are no emojis. Not everyone likes to send emojis. However, if you notice that once he was an emoji guy and then all of a sudden none of his text messages have any form of emotion in them and they feel very cold, it's another sign he's not interested. This also extends to kisses. For sure, we shouldn't take the number of kisses as a sign of romantic interest. But in a romantic relationship, kisses are a sign of that loving gesture. And let's face it, when we are in a mood with our other halves, we will purposely withhold those kisses. So if he was once an avid kiss sender and then he stopped, it could mean his interest in you stopped also. No random texts. You know the ones. The "I was just thinking of you." Now, if you don't receive any text messages like this, well, it's obvious. Sadly, he hasn't been thinking of you at all. He doesn't respond with comfort. If you told him that you were having a hard day or that you were sad about something, if he does not reply with some effort to console and cheer you up, well, it means he isn't that interested in you emotionally.